I have a confession. In my 10 years of drawing, I have only drawn the elusive worm's eye / looking up angle twice. I know, I'm always hounding y'all about not avoiding the things that are hard to draw. We all have our vices, but it ends today. And what better way to start than by joining this legendary art challenge? In this video, I'm going to show you how to break down references and actually learn something from them, so that you'll know what to do when people tell you to use a reference. So, grab your favorite hot drink, and let's get into it. If you haven't heard, this glorious drawing of Frieren from the show Frieren Beyond Journey's End was originally made and posted by SpaceDev1 on Reddit, and has since been lovingly dubbed the Frangle. The internet went wild. I've seen some people theorize that so many people fell in love with this drawing because it's so intrinsically human. In a world that's been filled with seemingly perfect AI images, it's refreshing to see aspiring artists put in the work to learn the skill of drawing. The happy accidents, hours of effort, and intention behind drawings is what distinguishes art from the slew of soulless AI images. Jumping into the challenge, I first wanted to get a baseline of where my current understanding of this angle sits. So with nothing but the inspiration of the OG Frangle, I came up with this sketch. Not bad considering where we started in 2019, but I know it can do better. So the search for references began. Most of the time you can just Google what you're looking for, and Google Images will probably have something sufficient for you. But if you're having trouble finding the exact pose you're looking for, you can always take some photos of yourself, or pester a friend to model for you. No one reference is going to be perfect usually, so I grabbed a few different ones to practice on. Even though my style is not realistic, I do prefer to study from real-life references rather than drawing references, to make sure that I'm actually getting my anatomy correct. Once you understand the real anatomy, you can play with proportions and stylize with much more freedom. To set up my references, I imported them into my program, today we're using Procreate, and lowered the opacity. Then on a layer on top, I started to familiarize myself with the forms by just tracing over the prominent lines, seeing where the shadows fall, and getting a feel for the shape. This is a great first step just to make the process a little bit less scary and less intimidating. You can kind of vibe it out without having to be too technical. Then I went a little bit deeper, trying to understand the planes of the face. This is a diagram that shows the planes of the face. With the diagram in mind, I tried to identify where the planes of the face were on my references. While I was doing this, I noticed that I was struggling a little bit, and it's because I needed a refresher on the bone structure. After all, the way the bones look largely defines how the flesh will sit. So, I returned to scouring the internet, and found some references of human skulls. It was here that I noticed the shape of the jaw and understood where the skin hollows, as there is less or no bone in certain areas of the face. Returning to finding the planes of the face, it felt a lot better. I began to truly understand how to build my face up from nothing. I repeated this process on my other two references, though I did not have to revisit the skulls this time. Newly empowered by my knowledge from these studies, I felt ready to draw freely. Full transparency, I jumped the gun earlier and tried to free draw before studying the bone structure and ended up with this abomination. So this is actually take 2. But that's okay. When at first you don't succeed, try again. I snagged some additional references of freerun from the show and placed those alongside our OG inspiration and got to work. This time I felt a lot more competent in my execution. I was able to give myself better structural lines and clearly visualize the angle in my brain. The hardest part for me in drawing is not having a full idea of how to build my structure and not having a full mental image of what I'm trying to draw. I was quite happy with the way the sketch turned out, so I went ahead and made it a finished piece. And this is how it turned out. Huge shout out to SpaceDev1. Congratulations! You took the internet by storm! And the world is your oyster. Keep doing you, and keep trying to draw those hard angles. I can't wait to see how you grow on your art journey. I hope you like my rendition of your piece. Long live the Frangle! With that, you guys, keep practicing, and I'll see you later.